Welcome to another horrid, terrible, despicable, abominable, socially unacceptable episode of The Apocalypse. Congratulations for choosing The Apocalypse, by the way. And since you have unwisely chosen The Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Urgent need, son. Unfortunately for me, I must be alive, and I must be your humble guide, Nicholas, to guide you through the apocalypse. Take my hand before Donny shoves Donny coin in yours. And let us escape wrath together, not the devil's wrath. Unfortunately, we won't or we shan't escape that. But even worse, God's wrath. If you stay true, if you do not take the mark, you have a much better chance. For if you take it, you have none. Ever. No matter what you do. Let us begin, because I'm tired, man. New York Times, I woke up to this headline. This poor woman got her job back via a judge. Said Donny didn't have the authority to fire her or whatever. She gets her job back. Now it's going to the Supreme Court. And we all know what's going to happen there, son, don't we? Trump asked Supreme Court to allow removal of Lisa Cook as Fed governor. You know, Donny wants to control the Federal Reserve. A big bad Jerome ain't doing what he wants him to do. And I notice, instead of really targeting Jerome, he goes after this black woman. I notice a lot of Donny's targets, I don't know if you've noticed, in the military and elsewhere for firings, look like this woman here. I wonder why that is. Maybe you could think about it and figure it out for me. A lot of the firings, high level, high profile, tend to be, I don't know if you noticed, mostly women and a lot of women of color, ethnic minorities. Did you notice that? Donny says he can fire Jerome anytime he wants, but he's not firing Jerome. He's firing this woman. I wonder why. Well, Donny's spite and pettiness and immaturity knows no fucking bounds. CBS News reports the ABC Australia television network confirmed to CBS News that it's been told it is no longer being allocated a spot at the joint news conference Thursday by President Trump and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, saying it was informed that this was due to logistical reasons. No, this was due to an orange bitch. He asked who the Australian reporter was with, and the reporter told him, and he basically told her or them that I'm coming after you now. So they've been banned from participating any further. Do you see where this is going yet? You haven't seen enough examples of people being banished, of people being silenced, of people being fired for their speech. I'll tell you where it's going, son. It's going to get to a point, just like in Germany back in the 30s, where if you criticize their leader or the Reich, men are knocking at your door. They're already making it happen. It will happen more often. That's the end goal. That's the end point. How many times did I do that little skit where someone knocks on your door because your son told on you, or your wife, or your coworker, or your husband, or whatever, your neighbor? Oh, we getting there, son. We sure getting there. Any reporters he don't like, he tries to get them fired. Any comedians he don't like, he tries to get them fired. Anyone that talks negative about him, critiques him, talks negative about the right, tries to ruin you, silence you, and much worse. So where's this going, class? Where it went in the 30s in Germany, where you're not allowed to criticize. People will be grabbed. And I'm not talking illegal aliens, son. And some of MAGA will be grabbed because they're going to run their mouth sometimes. They're going to get mad about something. And some are going to hear that. And they're going to pick up the phone. And then they're going to hear that skit that I did so many times back in the earlier videos, right before Donnie took over and then right after. Remember? Mr. Smith, your son gave us a call today, and he said you said Donald Trump's an asshole. Could you come with us, please? And that's not a question. Oh, we getting there, son. And you know it. Random commenter, Trump's allies now control X, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and TikTok. They now own Fox News, CBS, WAPO, Wall Street Journal, New York Post. They own Sinclair Broadcasting, which has 200 TV stations, local news in 100 markets. Freedom of speech is now what Trump and his billionaire pals say it is. Well, we've seen this trend go on, and it fucking ramped up when Donnie lost that election. All of a sudden, right-wing oligarchs coming out the woodwork buying, all news media. There's hardly anything left-wing owned anymore. Don't even try it, son. This has been going on for a long time, but it got amplified on steroids once Donnie lost. The oligarchy that cares nothing about any of us, that only cares about their portfolio getting bigger and nothing else, son. They got mad. So they bought up whatever media they could, and now they're buying up the rest, whatever's left. It's over, son. I'm sorry. And it's long over. Who can make war with the beast? No one. That's who. Not anyone here on this planet. This is Mike Pence in an interview today. And I just thought what he said was interesting. State ownership of business is very common in China and Russia. You mean in communist dictatorships, which is really just a dictatorship where the mob at the top takes everything. Taking a percentage of the sales of NVIDIA, taking a percentage of the stock of Intel is inconsistent with free market principles. And I think it's taken our country to a very perilous place. And I think we need to resist that very strongly. Wow, he uses Donnie's phrase. What you have is a mob at the top in Russia, China, and now here. They will take what they want. And it may seem anti-capitalist and anti-America and all that for the Reich to take percentages straight up from your businesses, which I told you he was going to do, by the way, right? Google, you hear me? I was talking to you back then. It's taken plenty from you already, and so is Vlad, and they're going to take a fuck lot more. But you guys love taking things away, so you should be cool with it. Right? Right. So what we basically have is in mob world, where Donnie's lived his whole life, you pay a vig to the Don for the right to do anything, to breathe, to exist, to do business. Oh my God. Donnie's been putting this philosophy forth in his own way for years. Companies are getting it now. We got to give him a cut. He's a mob boss. That's what he's looking for. That's what all these messages true social posts are. How many times have we heard the story about our troops in foreign nations, really to fight Russia, but Donnie would present it as a protection racket. We got troops in your country. You're saving money on that. We can defend you. We have been defending you. You got to pay me. Protection racket, literally on a global scale, son. He's been doing that for years. Once he got back in, forget about it. Think about how the mob operates and the Don at the top of a city. He has a territory. Everyone in that territory pays him tribute, or you die. That's the philosophy we're living under now. And it's going to get more and more apparent as the seconds tick off. There's no, again, science, economic system thinking to it. It's a mob, son. They're going to take what they want. And if you don't give it, they put in the full weight of the federal government on you. Be you a city, a company, whatever the fuck you are. So Donnie's getting a piece of sales now with NVIDIA or something, and Donnie has the percentage of the company called Intel. Again, oligarchy, I begged you not to do it, begged you not to turn the country into Russia. I told you, aren't you doing well enough? The whole system's rigged in your favor, the tax code, every fucking thing, son. That wasn't good enough. You that greedy. That greed will cost the American empire and your empire. Many executives and CEOs will rue the fucking day they ever gave Donald Trump a chance. Many of them, I have a feeling, that will be the biggest regret of their life. I'm not exaggerating. That's how bad it's going to get for them and us and everybody. Look what Donnie's taken from the major companies already. Exactly the way I said it would go. Just keep knocking at that door. It's been a month. What have you done for me lately? We've seen that several times already. We've seen companies back at the table 2-3 times. The tribute table I'm talking about, son. It hasn't even been a year. Exactly what the fuck I said. Again, I know, every time someone's bitching on that's a disgruntled asshole. That's what everyone thought, right? As I got my 40 views after being censored 1,000 fucking times. Nope. Wisdom before, wisdom now. You don't hear it, though. That's why it's over for everybody. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm not you. I'm not the nothingness, the vapid nothingness, destined for nowhere. And by nowhere, we're not talking about money here, son. Something much worse than being poor and broke. I am none of you people. And again, you know who I'm talking to. You top people that think you got it all figured out. You just ended everything with one vote, son. One tribute payment. Everything. You can't fathom it, I know. I always could, though. What does a mob boss do to the local businesses in his town? Takes more and more till they have to go out of business. The mob is never satisfied. Very simple philosophy. You think executives and CEOs across the country would understand? They're around those types of people all the fucking time. Some of them are those people. Anyway, let me move on. Basically, the point is the mob will take what it wants. There is no system to this. If you pay Donnie tribute as a major business, maybe he makes the tariffs go away for you. He's already done that for several businesses, major ones. Everyone knows that now. Everyone's aware of the program. If you want to have visa workers here, a large amount at your company, you got to pay Donnie, or he rounds them up and ships them back. That's what happened in Hyundai. That will have devastating consequences. Donnie made the claim again yesterday. Here's a little piece of what it looked like. That he's the first president, the only president that's ever been there. It's the first time it's happening. Windsor Castle. Looking fat as fuck in his tuxedo. U.S. presidents who have visited Windsor Castle: Woodrow Wilson, 1918, Dwight Eisenhower, 59, Nixon, 69, Reagan, 82, Clinton, 94 and 2000, Bush, 2003, Obama, 16, Trump, 18, Biden, 21. Donnie, I guess, didn't even remember that he had already been there. Again, this is a child with a God complex. You have to make a special consideration. There has to be a special privilege or something that's unveiled for Donnie when he comes that hasn't ever been unveiled for anyone ever before. When that doesn't happen, Donnie just makes it up. In front of the whole world and the king himself. Right at the castle. I'm the first president to ever be here. Because I'm the best. Do you know how dangerous that is? Back when he was Sharpie and Weather Maps, I was saying the same thing. Do you know how dangerous that level of lying, that need to lie to that degree is? We all tell lies. There's a difference, though. Holy fuck. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Some of them were there twice. Presidents have been there. Yet Donnie on camera in front of the whole globe sun with the king right next to him saying, it's such an honor to be the first president to ever be invited here. Just that lie alone tells me we're fucking doomed. But many lies over the years, and I've done many videos over the years in many different places, saying we're doomed with this motherfucker from just something he said. God, I was hoping back then, and I remember years ago in a cabin in North Carolina with bad reception for cell phones, me doing broadcasts, live streams. Everyone mad at me because I wasn't talking about the rock star. Little did I know that he would lose and win again, and we'd be in double nightmare. God, what a different time. That was back when the cabin was $700 too, and that wasn't that many years ago. It was before COVID, I think, or during, right before the rents got raised again. And this is rural North Carolina, son, so, you know, that's the only reason it was $700. I'm telling you this because I'm nostalgic for that time. Because things were just better, even though they were bad. And I still wasn't sure if Donnie was the one. And now I am. And now it's so much darker, and it was dark then, son. Anyway, Donnie had the need to tell the lie to the whole world that he needs you to believe he was the first president, the best president, to be invited to Windsor Castle, okay? I hope that helps you pay your mortgage, sell your crops, pay your credit cards, your car note, your kid's college fund. I don't think it will, though. Just a guess. Palantir has secured a $750 million contract with the UK Ministry of Defence to integrate advanced AI into Britain's military infrastructure. Additionally, the company is committed to investing $1.5 billion in the UK by 2030 to expand its presence in defence, healthcare, policing, and other sectors. I have noticed, because I look at this stuff every day, Britain is following a similar path with censorship and other kinds of things like policing and AI and Peter Thiel, or Greasy Pete, as I like to call him. I have a feeling Britain will be much more cooperative with the Reich and how it all works, and will employ or deploy a lot of the techniques. Here's the proof right here. The contract they just gave Greasy Pete and Palantir and his buddy. Yeah, it's coming to the UK. Surveillance police state, just like America. I'm sorry. Many people at the top already know, too. They know what they're about to roll out, son. And again, I have to say, this ain't the Alex Jones, Obama years. This is a serious motherfucker that understands the stakes and would never lie to people or sell snake oil or grift. I just wouldn't be here, son. I'd be focusing on making money like I should be. I'd be sleeping. Palantir $750 contract in exchange for investing $1.5 billion. Yeah, right. So you people in Britain and the American people that watch this, I'm sorry to tell you again, it's going to be global, and one of the first participants will be England. I can tell by the stories I'm seeing. I don't report on it because there's so much of Reich bullshit to report on. But I'm looking at this shit every day. I know exactly what's going on. And this surveillance thing with Greasy Pete that they're about to unveil here, the money's already been handed over. Your money, son, to subjugate you. Same thing's going to happen in Britain. I can see it being rolled out. Greasy got the contract. Forget about it. It's over. Britain's going to experience a lot of what goes on in the United States, even though they hate him. Pretty much everyone hates him. And you know who I mean by him. Yet they go along. Sinclair Broadcasting, those who got rid of Kimmel for Donnie. The highlighted portion of what they expect of Kimmel, I don't remember if I told you this last night. Kimmel's show is basically indefinitely gone. Until Kimmel issues a direct apology to the Kirk family. And furthermore, Sinclair asked Mr. Kimmel to make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA The Kirk family worth $12 million and life insurance policy coming any day now. They make an appointment with this guy. Precedent already set. I hope he don't bend the knee. I was never really a big fan of Kimmel. I have nothing against him. I just was never really a big fan. He didn't deserve this. That's not what I'm saying by saying I'm not a big fan or I wasn't a big fan. And they actually want him to apologize and make a donation or his show don't come back. Gee, I wonder who came up with those requirements. We all know who did. The Reich did. A lot of people got real scared by this. They should have been scared 7 fucking months ago. They should have been scared before the election. The Colbert thing didn't seem to hit as hard. I don't know why. The Kimmel thing is, though. Both of the guys, look, they had their shows. They were both, in my opinion, qualified to do those shows. Donnie doesn't like them, so they're gone. America's over. That's only one example. I just can't believe they're even asking for this. And the nerve of them collecting money. Oh my God, do you know how much money they have? Oh, Kimmel, I don't know what day this was. It was right before he got fired, I guess. He did a video of Kash Patel in these hearings. And I never watched the hearings long enough to catch Kash doing this. I've only watched clips. But after many, many questions or answers, Kash would go, sniff, real quick, a couple times. And he might like rub under his nose and he did this over and over. And Kimmel put together a montage. And it was just over and over and over and over. Kash was doing this sniff, sniff. Sucking air in up his nose. Not in a normal breathing way. In a sniffing cocaine way. He didn't sound congested. He didn't sound ill or allergies. No, he sounded fine. But he kept doing this sniffling motion. And that's when I realized he's a cokehead. I didn't know that about Patel. He's into the club scene and all that. When you watch this montage by Kimmel, I believe I put the link somewhere in the post section if you want to scroll back a bunch of pictures and find this. Yeah, it's kind of obvious, in my opinion, that he's a cokehead. Here's Donnie being interviewed today. And he just looks great, doesn't he? Bronzer just glowing orange brown. Went with a darker shade of orange today. You say that Putin has let you down. What are your next steps to compel an end to this war? It doesn't affect the United States unless you end up in World War. That was his answer. Now, he's gotten this question a lot. What are you going to do to stop this? Everything was in 2 weeks. Oh, when Putin and I talk, before the campaign, it was, I will stop that war day one. It never even would have happened if I was president. Well, he's been president for like 8 months and it's been raging every day. So what does that mean? That means Vlad has no respect for his orange bitch. Zero. None. And Donnie can't do anything about it because Vlad has the fucking PPT. So he's stuck in this until he decides, because Vlad is the last entity on this planet that has a leash on this motherfucker. Last one. So until he decides to snap it, and he can, he's stuck in this position where Vlad just does whatever the fuck he wants. So again, we've gone from before the campaign, your tough guy, orange messiah, dark orange today, promised, made fun of Biden, calls it Biden's war all the fucking time, said, I will end it day one, and if I was president, it never would have happened. Well, again, he didn't end it day one. He's been president 8 months, and Vlad been shitting all over him as if he's a dog. And now Donnie's at his wit's end to the point where, well, it doesn't affect us, so who fucking cares? Wow. Okay. Guess Donnie's given up. I guess Boss Putin just ain't going to cooperate. That's why he's Boss Putin to Donnie. This is a Representative Rep McGovern, ex-owned by Trump's largest donor. Facebook owner gave Trump $1 million plus a settlement, Rubes and class, of millions of dollars. That's the new bribe scheme now. I sue you, you settle with me for, I don't know, $200 million. And, you know, it's a settlement, Your Honor. What? What's the problem? It's for America, Your Honor, as it goes right in his fucking pocket. Fucking Marx. How this cunt was ever normalized, man. It's gotta be supernatural. TikTok soon operated by billionaire Trump donors. It was already a right-wing hellscape. Chaya Skank gets to operate with free reign with probably Chinese financing or Russian financing. Whatever. ABC fired Kimmel, gave Trump $15 million. Oh, that was another settlement, Your Honor. I swear. Wasn't a bribe at all. Wasn't tribute at all. CBS fired Colbert, gave Trump $16 million. That's another company tribute. Notice the settlements are about the same amount. I guess that's the number Donnie came up with, huh? This isn't normal. Free speech doesn't belong to billionaires. That is real funny how close those numbers are. 15 million ABC, 16 million CBS via settlements. Not bribes, not tribute. I swear, Your Honor, settlements. That's the new grift now. Expect many more. New York Times is on deck. Will they bend the knee? Will they pay the tribute payment? I wonder. We'll see. Everything is pay me. Do you notice that about Donnie? Every policy is pay me. Wants other countries to pay him, wants businesses to pay him, wants percentages of businesses. Everything is pay me. Someone wrote, this was all in Project 2025. They keep bringing this up. They brought it up before the election. This Brendan Carr guy has something to do with Project 2025, the guy that just helped get Kimmel fired. Gavin Newsom says nothing to see here. Here's Brendan Carr himself responding with the Jack Nicholson laughing evil face. As if, yeah, we're implementing 2025 and I'm helping. Yes. That's what we're doing. And we all lied and said we weren't doing that. And ha. Fuck you. America's over. What even the cunts at the top of the right don't know that I know, which I find fascinating, is, one, they're all going to the abyss. Two, a lot of them are going to suffer under this whole thing that Donnie's going to unleash on the world. It's not going to be all roses for them. And again, Rubes, class, Reich members at the top. How did it end for the Nazis? Where'd they all end up? Where did the leader end up? How did it end for him? I think you get what I'm trying to say. That's how it's going to end for you. Some version of that decline to straight to the fucking abyss. And that's the earthly abyss. Wait till you see the other one, son. That's what they don't understand. This all leads, if we are in the story, if Donnie is who I say he or think he is, who I say he is, it's leading to huge war. It's leading to torture of those that take the mark by God himself. Of course, we'll all die first. But what those people endure that take the mark. Horror is too gentle a word for it. What will happen to us, of course, will be terrible as well. And by us, I mean those that do not take the mark. But what happens to those people all smiling right now, putting up pictures of Jack Nicholson? If you read the story, son, like I said, horror doesn't begin to fucking describe it. So don't take the mark, son. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to warn you. I've been trying to warn people for 10 years. Yes, I got off into some rock star shit, and then I came back into this shit, and then I stopped, and then I came back into it again. Once I realized the direness of it, oh yeah, Nick, all that shit you said was going to happen 10 years ago, the mark, all that, yeah, that's really happening right now, yeah. How many people on the planet even understand what's going on? Not many. So maybe you should talk about it. Maybe you should guide people through it. Can't go back. Can't stop it. What's left? Well, I can guide you through it. Even though I'm censored, and eventually I'll be censored completely. I already am on most websites. Donnie's calling into Fox News. We're going to have numbers like never before. There's this poll right here. Has Trump administration made the economy better or worse? This is a Fox News poll. Obviously better, 30%. Worse, 52%. Same, 18%. Those numbers are horrible for a politician. Horrible. Trump, we're going to have numbers like nobody has seen before. When do you think we're going to see that? Recent Fox polling showed 52% said the economy is worse under this administration. What's Donnie's answer? Survey says Fox polling is the worst polling, and then he went on a rant about Murdoch and the polling, and he's told Rupert that he needs to fix that. Donnie thinks hate speech is hatred towards him, mockery of him, personally. And Donnie's fucked up 3-year-old brain, that's hate speech. In his declining Nero fiddling while Rome burns brain, that's hate speech, son. When anything negative poll or anything comes out about him, oh, those polls are terrible, fake news, blah, 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 blah. That's how we deal with everything. We're so fucking doomed. Trump says the economy will be good probably in about a year or so. You got a year's worth of money all saved up, right, everybody out there? You'll be fine, right? You can wait for this fantasy year from now where everything's just going to be great, right? No, it'll be hell. And that's the point. They need us even more desperate than we already are. We already were desperate. Donnie Coyne. Probably about a year or so. Not 2 weeks, not next month. Oh, the tariffs are going to help. Probably in about a year or so. Fuck. We're doomed. Oh, Philip Kowski is pointing out that this shade of bronzer is 84% Keiko. Yes, Donnie went for the dark orange. And a commenter pointed out it matches the stain on the mahogany behind. And I realized that too. I'm like, did they look at the walls on video, wherever this is taking place or something? And Donnie's like, make my bronzer blend in with the mahogany. Is that what happened here? Yeah, he went for the deep, dark, orange-brown. Look at the whites under the top of the eyelid where they can't put the bronzer. the bottom eyelid, or whatever you call that. It's so fucking sad. I've been yelling this for 10 years. Clown in orange makeup. You people take this seriously. That's why your country's over. And you know who I'm talking to. I know not everyone out there wanted this. So don't take it personal. I'm talking to some people, not all people. Holy fuck, man. Donnie's on the plane. I believe this is audio. I'm pretty sure. But it comes from the plane. And this is what Donnie says. You ready? Trump to reporters. Fly safely. You know why I say that? Because I'm on the flight. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. Exactly! Yeah. That's the real Donnie right there. Do you think that was a joke? I mean, who says things like that? And, I know Donnie doesn't care about anybody but himself. One more time, let's read this for posterity. As nuclear Armageddon rains down, let's remember this comment when Donnie was on the plane. Fly safely. You know why I say that? Because I'm on the flight. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. Yeah, we know, Donnie. We fucking know. That's Donnie humor, I guess. I don't even know if it's humor. He might have been dead fucking serious. He is the Antichrist, for fuck's sake. He really is. He's got an evil in him, son, you can't even fathom. I can, though. McCallum interviewing him again. He's just got this beautiful blend with the mahogany. I mean, he really just blends right in. Who's behind it? Do you have a gut feeling? You hear Soros, but it's incitement to riot. That's a criminal act. When she asks who's behind it, I'm pretty sure they're talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination and the whatever violence the Reich is talking about in general. So we know they're going after Soros. Donnie keeps throwing the Soros name out there. Again, high-profile liberals, I'm warning you again. I was warning you before the election. After the election, I'm warning you again. Unless you want to be a martyr, I suggest you take flight somewhere. For your own safety. This monster is coming for you. Soros will most likely be first. And if he's not first, that won't make much difference. He'll grab somebody else. Soros is the name he wants. He needs to get this Epstein shit to go away, and they build in a Reich. They always were. Epstein or not Epstein. The Epstein thing just accelerated shit a little bit. Got them distraction hunting. A great distraction would be arresting George Soros. For nothing. I fail to hear a crime here. It's incitement to riot, says the guy who incited a riot to overthrow the government so he could be dictator, literally. That's a criminal act. Yes, we know, Donnie. You did it. You should have been in prison on the 7th. Who's behind it? Do you have a gut feeling? Mr. Soros, he coming for you. I hope you're paying attention, sir. This is Brianna Keeler talking about Israel's finance minister, and that little thing looked like this. I don't think Keeler's in the picture here. She's just talking about this. I just thought it was interesting how bold this finance minister, I don't know if it was this one, it might have been this exact guy. He was the other one talking about the temple will be built. You will see it in a room full of people. I presented to you Netanyahu giving that speech. I presented to you this guy, or some finance minister for Israel giving the speech. I have a feeling it's the same dude. What I'm trying to show you here is how comfortable they are talking this way about this situation. It took decades to get here. Brianna Keeler. Today, Israel's finance minister is claiming that there are talks underway with the U.S. about dividing up war-torn Gaza in a real estate bonanza. Bezalel Smotrich. This is a quote from him. Paid a lot of money for this war, so we need to divide how we make a percentage on the land marketing later in Gaza. We've done the demolition phase, which is always the first phase of urban renewal. Now we need to build. So resorts are coming. Israel wants their cut of the pie. They want to make money on this too. That's what this man is saying. A lot of people had to die so Donnie could have a casino in the Holy Land and gold statues. A lot of people had to die so the finance minister and Bibi and others can make money on real estate, so Jared Kushner can make money on real estate. He even calls the bombing and leveling of Gaza in an alleged, war, or whatever you want to call it, as what, class? We've done the demolition phase. Indeed, I've said many a night on this camera here, they got free demolition. You don't got to pay a construction crew to come in and demolish shit. Already bombed to ash. Just sweep it away. One more time, what did he call it? We've done the demolition phase. Now it's time to build. Inside 6 months, my prediction, resorts going up in Gaza. This guy profiting, Bibi profiting, others profiting, Kushner, the whole thing. I'm waiting to see if we're going to get the gold Donnie statues. We already got one here in the U.S. They're giving this man a holiday. Can you believe it? A podcaster. A podcaster, son. Who was taking Russian money or some nefarious whatever financing source, I guarantee it. By how much he had. It's how the right-wing machine operates. None of it's organic. It never is. Ever. The U.S. Senate unanimously passed a resolution designating October 14, 2025 as the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. This guy's getting a holiday, man. That's how far over the top they taken it. So yes, they already have, and they will make many more chess moves on the back of this man's death. October 14, Charlie Kirk Day. You ready? Got to make sure they put it right ahead of where we're at right now so we can celebrate it right away. Right, Rubes? Podcaster. Again, is this going to help you make a little more money? Unless it's a paid holiday for you, which I doubt. Going to help you pay your rent, pay your note, your car note, your phone bill, any of it? No? So what the fuck good is it then? A shame you didn't think like that before the election, son. Maybe your soybeans would be rotting in the fucking field. McCallum, so yeah, the Reich's giving him a holiday. I'm moving on a little quick here. I can't believe it. That's how far over the top they've taken this, which tells me they're going to make many more chess moves on the back of this thing. And again, look how Donnie put it right ahead of where we're at. Why wouldn't it be the day he got shot? Because there's a purpose, that's why. Your critics say this crackdown is a crackdown on free speech. I assume they mean the Kimmel thing? I watch your show and I watch others and I see people saying things. They're crazy. These people are crazed lunatics. Maybe they're drugged out. I don't know who or what Donnie was talking about. I guess what he's trying to say is anyone who speaks negatively on any show about him are crazy and drugged out just like him. Because there's a reason Donnie throws that accusation out there all the time. Because he's on a cocktail, son, just like Adolf was. Only thing keeping him upright. All the shit you said about Joe, your boy. And the diaper, all of it. McCallum, you also said Joe molested one of his daughters. Like I said, everything you said about Joe, your boy. That's why you say it about Joe. That's why he says it about Joe. That's why the machine says it about Joe. Every accusation in the right-wing modern MAGA grift machine is a straight-up pure confession. I noticed you all for a few decades reporting to everyone and calling them pedophiles as well. Do you believe that there is a vast terrorist movement in the United States that's responsible for Charlie Kirk's killing and the attempts on your life? What a ridiculous fucking question. Trump, you never know, do you? No, I know. There's no movement. It was one guy that groomed by some ex-CIA person to shoot at Donnie, and that was obvious. And this one, this shooting, the Charlie Kirk, some white kid from the woods. There's no network, there's no cells. His own fucking roommate didn't know about it. All completely fucking fabricated. And of course, the reporter gives him the perfect setup to spout these fucking lies. You never know, do you? Actually, we do know. I just told you. And we'll find out. Find out what? One white kid shot at Donnie. One white kid shot at Charlie Kirk. Networks, I don't understand here. What is this? In the meantime, we're going to do a big thing with respect to Antifa. We're going to do a big thing. I said again, they're going to move chess pieces on the back of Charlie. Already got one set up for the future. Donnie can't help but mention it. because he's a child. Again, they're not hiding their intentions. They're not hiding what they're doing. They say it right in front of us, and everyone goes about their fucking business. Another reason it's over. We're going to do a big thing with respect to Antifa. Again, Antifa doesn't exist. The Reich knows this. They're stupid, but not that stupid. The reason they're doing this and saying this, so they can label you Antifa. They need to get a way around citizenship, that whole argument. You're a terrorist, that's how. Now we can deport you, torture you, whatever. That happened all the way back under George Bush. Terrorists get special treatment under the law. The whole Reich knows Antifa is not an organization, knows there's no cells, so why are they saying this? So they can call you Antifa if they want to. And then you go in a camp or get arrested or whatever the current misery of the Reich is at the moment. You know, the misery that some men are already going through down in Sikot for the rest of their fucking life. Men that don't even have records, some of them. That ain't no joke, man. That ain't nothing to laugh at. And when the man come around, he gonna remember every laugh. Because holy fuck, that's evil. You wouldn't like it if you were locked up for the rest of your life, right, son? I know you're better than them, right? No, you're not. In the meantime, we're going to do a big thing with respect to Antifa, so expect some evil, nefarious shit with the word Antifa slapped on it. I'm horrified by where this is going. I can't believe how far along we already are. Trump on Russia's war on Ukraine, it doesn't affect us because, like, we have a big ocean in between. Again, rubes, hypocrites. Your Messiah said he'd have it solved day one. Said Vlad would never have attacked Ukraine if he was president. 8 months in, Vlad punk bitching this motherfucker every 5 seconds. Still killing people. Making Donnie look like a fucking fool. So it went from he'll solve it day one to fuck it, there's an ocean between us. Art of the deal, right, Roops? Art of the loss of your fucking empire. That's what it is. While Donnie gets rich, richer than God, son. This is Donnie again. I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me. They give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license, and they're getting it for me because I'm the federal government. I'm Donnie Shitbags. Everything is for me. I own it all now. That's how he thinks now. That's how he thought in the first term. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. So now that's the threat. License to broadcast away. Because you got to pay Donnie DeVig for that. And you also have to be very nice all day when you speak of Donnie. It's over. There's no more free speech. Ask Jimmy Kimmel and Colbert if there's free speech. These are the highest of high profile. Shit can on the word of a fat orange cunt in a diaper. That's it. Those are just two examples. Terry Moran's another example. Reporter. Other reporters have been fired. Do you see where this is going yet? It's already there. Men have lost their job. Very good jobs, actually. Talented men. It's up to Brendan Carr who gets the license. If they're nice, they talk nice about Donnie. Because in Donnie's mind, hate speech is when you talk negative about him. And my God, he's just looking more and more disgusting by the fucking day. Look at this fucking picture. Oh, God. This fucking monster. Fucking parody of a human being. Donnie again on the plane. Little closet interview. I call these closet interviews on the plane because he's always like holding the door. And when you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, they're licensed. They're not allowed to do that. According to who? Caesar? God? Again, just saying I'm going to take their license away if they don't talk nice about me. Over, son. Checkmate again. We cannot normalize this. He is not going to stop. That's Gavin Newsom saying that. Unfortunately, Mr. Newsom, the precedent was set with Colbert. He got away with it. Too late. Just like the precedent with the troops was set in Mr. Newsom's state of California. Once that happens and everyone ain't out on the streets, too late. Precedent set. Now they crack jokes about deploying the military. That's how far along in dying America we are. We're going to be reducing drug costs over the next year and a half by 1,000%. You can't reduce something by 1,000% unless you're going to give money back to people. Because if you actually did the math, that would mean the company that makes the drugs, where you go buy the drug, they would have to hand you a bag of money and your pills. That doesn't exist. He's telling this 1,000% lie for the 100th time in an interview. Again, no need to lie. He could say 50%, 70, 20, anything. Just a normal, like a normal human being. Nope, with Donnie, the lie has to be tremendous. The fish has to be huge. 1,000%. Just like the 17 trillion he's bringing in foreign investment. Again, the need to lie to that degree, that's a fucking mental illness, son. I'm serious. I've known people with that same deficiency that he has. I've worked with guys, I've known people, and everybody knew they were compulsive liars. They would just make up stories and tell you them. It's just a need they had, a psychological deficiency. Donnie has that medical condition. And it's obvious. This is the Atlantic, and in a headline or a quote, they said what I've been saying. Blaming the left exclusively for violence is not just a rhetorical flourish from a pugilistic president. Instead, it is a pretext, a justification for what appears to be coming next. Right. The Atlantic and Big Jeff Goldberg and this article with Jonathan Chait is saying what I've been saying. They're going to move chess pieces on the back of this. This fantasy of cells and groups and Antifa, when it was really just two white kids that shot at Donnie and shot at Charlie. Two white kids from the woods. No cells. No Antifa. So why are they spinning this yarn for all of us? For what appears to be coming next. The chess pieces are going to move. Why is Stephen Miller out there giving manifestos about how they're going to channel the anger? Because of what's coming next that they already planned beforehand. They already knew they were going here. That's what I've been telling you for months. They already knew they were going to attempt to subjugate you, hand a mark to you, a wearable, etc. Put you on Donnie coin. They already knew all this. subjugate you with your own military, demonize the press, police when necessary, science when necessary. All Hitler's same plans, all things he executed, they're doing the same thing, and they knew it beforehand what they were going to do. So again, expect some chess pieces to be moved. You saw one yesterday with the Kimmel firing. The European Federation of Journalists, representing 300,000 plus journalists, have just announced they are leaving X and will no longer be posting. Well, that's going to hurt a little bit. Don't worry, though. Leon will just add another few million bots to replace the loss of traffic from these journalists and the people that go to their page. Leon is the bot king. About 70% of traffic, was it? Or 65? I can't remember the number. Is fake on almost 75, I think it was, on X. And other websites, it was about 50 or 40 something. Trump on a TikTok deal. I specifically get the right to approve it. We're doing it in conjunction with China, but the United States is getting a tremendous fee, plus for just making the deal. But we are getting, the United States is getting, I don't want it to sound like I'm pocketing it, because I am. That's what you just heard there. I don't know if you realize that. That's why Donnie changed up. A fee, you say. Why not a percentage of the company, commie? Like you've been doing. Percentage of sales. Here's why, son. Because the bribe up front is so large, he's willing to forego the percentage. Because that bribe's going to him. It ain't going to America, son. It never was. I'm sorry. They're not going to build high-speed rail with it. That evil high-speed rail, right? Right, Roops? This is Eric Swalwell. In 1934, Germany passed a law making it a crime to tell jokes or laugh at its leaders. We can't go down that road because what's next? I'm not even going to read the rest. We already down that road, son. Too late, Mr. Swalwell. I want to read just that first sentence one more time because you're living in this. And they're Nazis. They believe in the same religion these cunts did back then. Germany passed a law making it a crime to tell jokes or laugh at its leaders. Why? Because the Reich and Adolf Hitler were like Donnie. They had a God complex. They were narcissists. If you dared speak ill of them, they hated you and wanted you dead. They were sick, evil fucks. Donnie and Adolf. I guess I can speak of both of them in the past tense, because the lake is the only place, son. They can't handle it. I've met people like this either. They just, rich, poor, that doesn't matter. It's a mental thing certain people have. They cannot handle people not liking them. They cannot handle people talking negative. It fucking breaks them psychologically. Adolf Hitler was one. Donnie. Adolf and his Reich. Donnie and his Reich. Same thing. Passing a law, making it a crime to tell jokes. Well, Donnie's doesn't need to pass a law. He just pulls your license. Or gets you fired. It will go further when there will be actual arrests for speaking ill. I told you, the skit I did so many times for you people. When they used to let me broadcast live the adjudicated criminal Google. All those bots that would get mad, and a few MAGA people would come and get mad. Remember that skit I always do? Hi, Mr. Zanzibar. Your neighbor called us and said You're out in your front yard yesterday drinking a beer, and you told him that Donnie should go to prison because he's a criminal. Could you come with us, please? A crime to tell jokes or laugh at its leaders. Well, what does that mean? That means there's no free speech anymore. You're a good, I don't know, 30% into that right now with the Kimmel and Colbert firings and other firings. Making it to where it's socially unacceptable to make fun of the Reich or its leader. Making it to where you'll be punished financially. We already there, and he don't even have to pass the law. Adolf literally passed the law. Tyler Robinson used Donald Trump as his gaming alias on the online gaming site Steam, and that's per Bloomberg. I wonder why the Reich doesn't talk about that. Why do you think? Maybe it messes up their, he was a lefty narrative, and the cells and the networks and all that don't exist. Antifa. Kind of fucks that up, doesn't it? Vance on Christopher Wray's FBI. The couch fucker. Maybe they should have been investigating the networks that motivated, inspired, and maybe even funded, Sonny says, Charlie Kirk's murder. Again, I know the Reich is desperate to get the Reich rolling. Miller, the couch fucker, Donnie, all of them. I get it. But it was two white kids from the woods. One that shot at Donnie, one that shot at Charlie. There's no networks. There's no cells. There's no funding. The story they telling us is Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk with his grandpappy's rifle. No funding, no cells required. He just grabbed his grandpappy's rifle. So many right-wing shootings go that route. Yeah, it's not a very exciting story. There's really no crazy evil liberals in it. So they had to invent it and just make it up. And now we're at the point where we're hearing the words networks, cells, Antifa, as if it's a real group. We're hearing them say we might arrest George Soros. And we're hearing that Charlie Kirk's murder was funded. Really? Again, because I thought it was just a kid that grabbed his grandpappy's rifle. So what funding was necessary? I can't believe how far they're going with this story that's just complete fabrication. It makes me wonder about this event with Charlie Kirk, especially that script that was written. And there's two paths I can kind of go down, and these both of these paths could be the same path. Did they make this event happen? Somehow. Or did it just happen and they figured, okay, we'll just paint him as a liberal even though everyone knows he's not. Oh, he uses granddaddy's gun and all. That's really not a good story, but we'll run with it anyway. And just try and capitalize. I wonder, because I think we all know what Donnie's shooting was. It was pretty obvious. I personally wonder, was that kid even alive to take the shot the day Donnie, his assassination attempt? I'm guessing no. The networks that motivated, inspired, maybe even funded. I mean, they're just outright lying and everyone knows it. I mean, just making up a whole story out of thin fucking air. 2 almost loner white kids. 1 with their grandpappy's rifle. The other one, someone had been helping that one. But we don't know who. I do. But the mainstream out here, out in the ether, we don't know who. Was befriending that young man. And buying him things. And no, it wasn't George Soros, son. You need to look in the other direction. Way back, I told you I realized the miracles would be false. One of the miracles is the head wound that healed, or the assassination attempt that didn't work. That's in the story. And I've been meaning to say this for a minute. Over the decades, as I pondered this end time thing, and the story itself, revelation itself, one of the most interesting parts, in my opinion, something I always thought of in my mind and wondered how it would play out. And I would run scenarios in my mind. For the head wound that miraculously heals, in my mind, I had like a Pope-like figure who gets shot near the White House in the head. Goes down. Everyone thinks they're dead. Everyone. The whole world sees it on camera, television, cell phone, what have you. And then he just gets up. As if it didn't happen. And the wound heals. And he's fine. That's how I pictured it in my mind. Over the years. So when the day came, and I had already just spent years talking about the mob, had people sent after me, went through just hell with people. Donnie's out of office, but he ain't going away, and I noticed that. So I always know there's a chance he's coming back. And he's who I thought he was. There's still a chance. I can't say I'm wrong yet. I really want to. So the day comes, and I don't even remember, what was it, months before the election took place. And I just told you how I pictured it in my mind before it happened. And of course I had no idea who it would be. So I see the clip of an alleged bullet being fired near Donnie. And I see him kind of wince and grab, and Secret Service takes him down. And then all of a sudden he gets back up, even though he's got 5 or 6 men on top of him. And with a countenance and an energy I've never seen in him before he puts the fist up and says, "Fight, fight, fight," with blood running down his face. In that moment, I was horrified. In that moment, I knew exactly what I was looking at. And it chilled me to the fucking bone. Because that was the day I was truly convinced. Someone seeing this in a vision 1,000 years ago, or someone seeing it from a distance as it was happening, they would think Donnie got hit with a bullet in the head and he somehow lived and got up and didn't hurt him. That's what it looked like to me. We didn't know it was an ear till later. And boy, did that ear heal real quick. Right quick. Now the entire Reich is based around that moment. Donnie coin based around that moment as the fight, fight, fight right on the coin. Statues of that moment on his desk. Paintings of that moment, taller than a man in the White House. The Donnie Gold card might have that shit on it too. I can't remember. I guess what I'm trying to say with this is it happened very similarly to the way I pictured it. Except it wasn't a pope, it was just a guy who wanted to be pope. And there were Secret Service men that jumped on top. Donnie's in no shape to push 5 or 6 men off him and get up and stand up. That should tell you what it was. Real agents would never let their primary client, whatever you want to call it, stand back up and make himself the biggest target possible for a guy on a roof with a gun. After he's already been hit once, it would never go that way. Yet it did. I realized with Leon and Donnie, these miracles described that they would do or would take place would be false. I didn't realize that until it happened. I should have known that, though. Because these are the devil's anointed. The beast and the false prophet. The qualification for the beast, everyone says this person, that person is the Antichrist. Nope. Did he get a head wound that healed? Otherwise, count him out. Donnie did. Sure looked like that. The false prophet is described that he will go forth with the full authority of the beast, which Leon did for a while. He's not doing it now, which makes me wonder if it might be someone else. But there's another qualification. The false prophet will rain fire from the heavens in the sight of men. Boy, Leon does that all the time. And what better thing for a false prophet or prophet to have than the most coveted text website on the planet called Twitter. You do a lot of prophesying, a lot of preaching, put a lot of gospel out. Can't you? So it would make sense that the false prophet owned Twitter, blew up rockets often in rainfire from the heavens. Leon has rained fire from the heavens over and over again. In the sight of men, the whole world sees it, son. So unless the false prophet at some point within their lifetime makes fire rain from the heavens, then they ain't the false prophet, son. They don't go forth with the full authority of the beast. They are not the false prophet. Well, again, Leon did that. He was co-chancellor for a while. He may be again someday. Don't count him out. Leon fits the criteria. Donnie fits the criteria. And then the man comes out with his own kind of currency, with his image on it, with the fight, which is really 666. F is the sixth letter of the alphabet. It all fits. Of course, the currency has to have that moment of the head wound on it as well. I don't want it to fit, yet it does. Not a good portent for us. And we'll end it with a Rube Speak Gavin Newsom original. Fox must suspend garbage Greg Gutfeld. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Let me start over. Fox must suspend garbage Greg Gutfeld ASAP. Not only does he need a fake laugh track, that's in quotes, he makes things up, is not funny, and gets so easily triggered, like a snowflake, when Jessica Just the Facts Tarloff speaks. What did I tell you about Jessica? She doesn't have to scheme. She doesn't have to lie. She just states reality. Newsom calls her just the facts. Right. Gets so easily triggered when Jessica Just the Facts Tarloff speaks. Fox should suspend him immediately. Send him to News Nation Next Star, where his jokes belong with the other failures. Ratings crashing. People begging for it to stop. People begging for it to stop. Fox, do the right thing or I'll make the FCC take care of you. Final warning. GCN. Yeah, that's our world now with Donnie. He talked about Kimmel being next, getting fired like a month ago. Now Kimmel's fired. In other words, it was planned. It was arranged, and Donnie's responsible. And these are the types of messages he puts out about these people. And it doesn't seem crazy when Donnie does it, right? But when Gavin does it, oh my God, it's just so crazy, stupid. Yeah, he's making a point. You people are following a psychopath. And that psychopath is going to take you straight to the abyss. You know how I know he's a psychopath? He writes like this. In all caps. And gets late night comedians fired instead of helping me and you as President of the United States. How fucking embarrassing is that for us, by the way? When you have to pass laws that we're not allowed to laugh at you, that means you must not be doing very good. Yeah, so what if Gavin Newsom was able to get Gutfeld fired? Would that be cool, Rubes? You would love that, right? No, you would want his head. I don't know what else to say, man. This shit's out of control. They got this whole fucking fantasy left-wing narrative with this kid. They got networks, cells, Antifa, George Soros. It's one white kid from the fucking woods with his grandpappy's rifle. That's what they telling us. Then they telling us this, too. What are they talking about? Because it doesn't apply to these situations. The guy that shot at Donnie again, white kid from the sticks. Where are the cells? Where are the networks? And even if they present them, I'm not going to believe them. Because I already know it's two white kids from the woods. I don't know what else to say. Don't take the mark. When it comes, Donnie will offer it. That's where all this is going, worship. If you can't tell by now, I don't know what to tell you. You cannot take it. It will be the end of you if you do. It may be the end of you here if you don't, but not forever. If you do take it, it will be the end of you there forever. No takebacks, tradebacks. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lord. No, none of it. You take it, it's over. I gotta go. I'm very tired and can't even really speak anymore. I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section if you'd like to help out. Have a wonderful evening, and until the next episode, have a good night.